Good morning, guys, and welcome to FYI. For your information, we trust that you folks are well as we are on this. This is Wednesday morning, Wednesday, the 14th day of September already. Good to have each and every one of you guys with us. I see Anthony Jarvis has joined us. I see Isabella Butters has joined us as well, and lots of the folks that we come to expect to join us every morning has done so. A big shout out to Isabella for being so gracious to us, for being so generous to us. I saw her recently and snapped up a photograph. We posted that on social media. Thanks for all of your kindness, Isabella. Thanks a lot. It means a lot to us at this end. Natisha Barker is with us as well. I see Cheryl Bascom Greenwich is here too. Great to have Cheryl with us and all the other folks who are joining us. We're just trying to ensure that we are shared to all the right places and all the right folks can watch us. Cheryl Bascom Greenwich, we did say so, and Derek Smith has joined us. Dylan Frank, and I see Simone Hooper as well. Guys, all of our favorite people, all of our favorite folks are here. I see Cheryl Mulrain is here. Cheryl, I haven't seen you in a little bit, and guys, we really trust that you are well. Cheryl, we trust that wherever you're joining us from in the world this morning, that you are well. Sandra Brotherson is here too. Good to have you, Sandra. And I see Lyndon Jones. Riri Mingo Garway is not to be left out. Good to have you here with us, Riri. And I see Marlene, and I see all the other folks who join us. It's really a privilege having you guys. Claire Alexis, Chamley Richmond, and Dylan Alexander. Grace James is here with us as well. Who else do we have, guys? Just trying to check and make sure. But share the live, guys. Smash that emoji button. You know how we do things. We want as many folks to get valid, credible information. But good to have you guys here with us. Great, as a matter of fact, to have you guys here with us. Good to start the morning with Gail Alicock and Alroy Daniels. And Johnny Likaram is here as well. And Patricia St. Clair. Good to have you folks who are joining us. You folks, of course, make the program every day, every program what they are. Good to have you folks. We are fired up. I got too many cups. I missed one. I'm going to put that one out of the shot. Good to have you folks here with us. Karen Clark is here too. And Donald Fletcher. I got two cups here. I'm going to say a licorice. Good to have you folks. Lindsay Pereira. Good to have you. And all the folks who are picking us up across social media, across our Facebook pages. Why don't we start there? Across our Facebook pages. Ensure that you like those pages. And you're back, whichever page you're on, smash that emoji button, share the live, guys. We want as many folks to get valid, credible information as possible. And let us know, too, our sound technicians who are on duty. Let us know if you guys are reading us loud and clear. But good to have you folks. Each and every one of you. I see Joyce Prince is here, and Merlene. Wayne Lindell is here as well. I see Diana Ramatar is here, too. Good to have all you folks. I see Veronique. Simon Nurse, I hope I'm calling that name correctly. I see Keith Dowding is here as well, guys. Good to have you. Beryl Crawford and all the other folks. Folks, it is Wednesday, the 14th day of September. What a great time to be alive, irrespective of the challenges you might be facing. Guys, we hope that you not only surmount those challenges, not only do we want you guys to live, but we want you guys to thrive as well, folks, and live productive, meaningful, enjoyable, satisfying, full lives, each and every one of you. That's our hope. Chanel Belgrave and Rachel Wolford. That's our wish for you. Bridget Campbell and Stacey Install. Good to have you folks here with us. Remember, guys, you joining us from around the region. We know folks are tuning in from all over, folks, all over the world. And we're so privileged. We're so humbled by that. And pull up a cup of coffee. Thanks for sharing your mornings with us in this way as we relate to you some of the happenings at our ends of the happenings in the regions and perhaps even internationally, folks. We're so privileged that you folks are here with us. Pull up a cup of coffee, tea, Milo tea, porridge, whatever you guys are having. Some of you are having some cereal, health conscious, is wheat, whole wheat bread, and all of these fantastic things that you can afford wherever you guys are this morning. We're so grateful for each and every one of you. Can't do it, guys. We couldn't do it without you. But let me give you some warning. Druid is going to join us in a little bit, and I'm going to stick with it, but I'm going to be back. I see Fitzherbert Jarrett is here with us, joining from Connecticut. in the USA, and he says, "Good morning, everyone." I love this kind of spirit, and I know Fitzherbert Jarrett. He has a big personality, so you're getting a big good morning coming out from Connecticut, dear. Beautiful place in autumn. I found it to be so. Odetta, Abiola, Daniels, and Susan, Kansas. Folks, wherever in the world you're joining us from, let us know in the comment section. If you're in the diaspora, let us know. Emily Durant, yep, is in the Independent Republic of Tocqueville. Yep. Good to have you, Emily and Laverne Joseph. Margaret Nelson is here as well, and Margaret joins us, if I remember correctly, out of New Jersey. Am I right? Or is it South Carolina or North Carolina? Remind us, Margaret Nelson, please. Carol Rollins is here as well, and all of the other folks. So when Judah comes and bring herself here, I'm gonna sneak off a little bit, guys, and powder my nose. You know how we have to do things. Powder my nose. Carol Rollins is joining us from Manhattan. Please and thank you. Carol Rollins is joining us from Manhattan, folks. I wish I was there right now in Manhattan. I see Edward Brooms is joining us from Alpha, New Jersey. Margaret Nelson from South Carolina. I know I wasn't wrong. Alroy Daniels is joining us from Brooklyn, New York. I see Mark Emmanuel is joining us from Pennsylvania. International morning program. What more could we ask for? Edward and all the other guys there. Deborah Mitchell, good to see you. Osman Hodge, and all these beautiful, wonderful folks joining us. I see Christy Barrows joining us also from Wilton, Connecticut. Connecticut is so beautiful. I never expected it. I wasn't ready for it when I was there last November. I wasn't ready for it. Connecticut is immensely beautiful. Love it. Quiet and peaceful, like most of the quote-unquote rural areas of the United States. Very beautiful. Ingrid Austin, good to have you here with us as well. I see Edward Gonzalez is joining us from, you know where he's joining us from, the Bronx, folks. Edward, good morning, and all the other guys joining us. Quite a bit of information to share with you folks, guys, as we gonna edge into the morning papers. Bear with us, folks. We're gonna edge into it. No time to lose. But good to have Ingrid Austin with us, and Marilyn Thomas, Carl Fordyce. Folks, how was the night before? The night is far spent, but do let us know. We would like to know, how was the night, folks? How was the night? The night is far spent. Yep. Marilyn Thomas is watching us from Queens, New York. Myrtle Noble is watching us from London, joining us all the way from London. Happy to have you, Myrtle. Good afternoon, Myrtle Noble. Good to have you with us, Myrtle, and all the other folks, Jamor, Marcus, all the other guys joining us. Do us the greatest honor of our lives and share the live. Smash that emoji button so that the program gets into more of the news feed and first persons can see and appreciate what's happening. Carl Fordyce is here with us as well, and Linda Thomas, and I see Miriam Charles says good morning from Brooklyn, New York. Oh, folks, we're all around the world. Sean Abrams, for instance, is in Queens, New York, while Miriam Charles is in Brooklyn, New York. Abiola Nehru says she's watching us from the Cooperative Oil-Producing Republic of Guyana. Abiola Nehru, we see you there. Veronica Primo Rollins. Veronica, how's it going? How is your trip going, Veronica? Veronica's on the move, folks. She's on the move. How's the trip going? I hope you're well. I hope all is going good. Good to see you, folks. Yep. Margaret wants to know what was happening on the Glenn Lal show last night. Margaret wants to know what was happening on the Glenn Lal show last night. I don't know. I hear a couple of things too. Yep. Pierre Zamat is joining us from Virginia. Pierre Zamat is joining us from Virginia, folks. Yep, all around the world. I see Indrani Likaram says, I'm streaming y'all from Boston. Please and thank you. From Boston. Yep, I heard Boston's a lovely place. You know, Amanza Walton Desire. Amanza has a sister who lives in Boston. And Amanza always tells us it's beautiful in Boston. But I hope to go there one day. But I know, folks, some of these places I can't go without invitation. See, I make it right there, man. You all make it. We don't just like present ourselves. We don't just like present ourselves, folks. Make it right. Make it right. You don't just land in Boston without invitation. You might be on the bridge or out in the cold at the mercy of the elements, you know. So make it right now. I ain't saying nothing else. Wink, wink. Loretta Argyle, good to have you. Loretta and Christy Burrows says again that Boston is amazing. I take your word for it. You know, back in the earlys, when I was a younger man and even more dashing and handsome and a debonair, a couple months ago, a couple of years or so, I used to watch. There was a series, a sitcom called Boston Common. Yep, based out of Boston. Love that. Love it. Boston Common. Yep. Since then, I got to sing for Boston. Laverne Joseph, good to have you. Claire Capel and Renella Garnett. Renella, say hello to your son for us. I see Nalan is here. Nalan is here as well. And Laverne, all the folks, beautiful folks joining us from around the world. Guys, again, we're so privileged. We count ourselves privileged. We count ourselves lucky to be here with each and every one of you guys. Pace, and power. Guys, let's start off by touching on a couple of things that have been making the morning papers, a couple of things making the rounds, folks, so that we can keep you guys informed and we ain't wasting time. We ain't wasting no time at all, folks, in terms of what's happening in the news. News information, credible, and valid, folks. And that is what we want to discuss this morning. Folks, the first thing I want to alert you guys, happening in the morning papers. Folks, you all know crime in this country spiraling out of control. Crime begs the question, where's Robeson? You know the promises of the PPP and what the paper they ever printed on. You know? But they said they had promised us a crime prevention plan in an extract from the manifesto. Y'all know they never do the manifesto. They never even bother. Yvonne Ramazar, they never bothered to do a manifesto. Never. The extract from the manifesto purported that they were going to have a crime prevention plan 2 years out, or rather 2 years in. 2 years in, brothers and sisters around the world. We still waiting. But this morning, guys, Jadish Mangal from Belmont, Mahika, abducted and robbed. Folks, you know, if we don't have things in place in this country, we will see more and more of this, especially now that we're pumping. Right? Now that we're pumping oil and pushing gas, we're going to see more of this. Jadish Mangal said he was abducted. He was at a bar in Station Street, Kitty, where he was relieved of his belongings, forced into a motor vehicle. On Monday, around 7 p.m., this is almost broad daylight in some of the parts of the world where you guys are residing, Joel Ward and others, broad daylight, Lindsay Pereira and others. He's at a bar in Kitty, 7 o'clock in the evening. He's robbed and abducted Jadish Mangal. Yep. And that is why, whenever I see folks, whether they're visiting this country or they're engaging some service in the city, they're out shopping or something like that, I always be careful. That's what we say to them. Be careful, be vigilant. These streets don't love you like we do. That's a nice phraseology there. That would work good in that song. These streets don't love you like I do. Yeah. These streets don't love you like we do. Y'all be vigilant out there, folks. Y'all are engaging Georgetown. And I think I told this to Marilyn when she was here. Be careful, be vigilant, observe your surroundings. Don't go out with all of your fancy jewelry and big money in your pocket and so on. No, don't do that. And that is one of the reasons why I wish plastic was more readily acceptable here. And this is something the administration should be pushing for. You know, you go paperless in terms of cash. Go paperless. All of this money they're dragging around to these communities to share out cash grants and so on to buy votes. Should be a card. You go, you push your bank card, you see money debited to you. Why we can't get up to scratch? Well, Jadish Mangal, he knows there's no crime prevention plan in place. He knows all too acutely because you see, Jadish was abducted and robbed and abducted on Monday. That's just one of the things we're covering in the morning paper. There's just one of the things we're covering here. They ain't got no crime prevention plan in place for none of us. No, as a matter of fact, some of them boys is a criminal. Beverly Chemi, you know what I'm talking about. Sheila Boy Child say hashtag be careful. That is what we ought to do. And encourage people, you know, who are coming this side of the Atlantic, or persons who are living here. Be careful. It's no time to be absent-minded. Right? You're just sauntering around the place, You go to town for a specific purpose, get to that and beat out. Get to that and beat out. Milan Solomon, Loretta Wosley, yep. Do what you gotta do and beat out. Loretta, so good to see you. How you doing, Loretta? I miss you, Loretta. I miss you. I'm just registering that. I miss you. I ain't saying nothing else. You know? I ain't saying nothing else, Loretta. Right? Make it right. Make it right. So we're following that. Jadish Mangal, abducted. The fella was abducted and robbed. We'll go for compensation for that. Abducted and robbed. And while we're following that, we wish to announce too, on an even sadder note. Is it sadder? No, there's no word like sadder. You must have your comparative, your superlative. What's the first one? Comparative, there's a first one. What's the first one? Folks who understand the anatomy of the English language. There's something, your comparative, and your supportive. Is it your normative, your comparative, and superlative? There's no word like sadder. More sad. In news, even more sad. We're registering here, guys, that former Caribbean Court of Justice Duke Pollard passed away yesterday at the age of 86. Fantastic gentleman, as I said last evening on our affiliate program in the ring. Fantastic fellow. And I had the privilege of being tutored by him when I was reading law at the undergraduate level. Y'all know I got my LLB. I ain't just out here. I got my things. I ain't just out here, folks. And as I said, we're going to have Jurita join us at some point. And we're going to make way for her. I'm going to sneak off and come back. We ain't playing. The fellow News Onions served at some high levels in the judicial system in this country, in CARICOM, overseas, did what he had to do and moved on. And we're so sad. We are poorer folks for the absence of people like Justice Pollard. He lost a brother quite recently as well. Is it BTI Pollard? That's the name his brother went by. Also was in the legal fraternity. This is a family of hard-working public servants who excelled in their understanding, appreciation, and the interpretation of the law. And folks, we dare say that we are poorer for it. We are poorer for it, folks. Right? We are much poorer for it. And so I did warn you that Judy's going to come. I'm going to sneak off to powder my nose. And I don't think y'all got me out here looking thin. Moving around some weirds here. Don't think y'all got me out here looking thin. Right? So share the live as we take this very short break to change things up a little bit. And then we are going to be right back.
Correct. Hey guys, good morning.
Look who here.
Good morning, everyone. My goodness. I hope that you are all having a fantastic morning. Mm-hmm. I am not going to lie. I am so upset. Traffic. Good God. Mm-hmm. I know what's going on out there, but I think that it needs to be better. That's what I can say. For absolute certainty, we need to do something about the traffic out there. It's crazy. I think I moved like a quarter of a mile. It took like an hour or more. It's just ridiculous. I couldn't take it anymore. This morning was difficult for me. Out front part says loud and clear. Welcome, MP Director, says Marling. Laura, hey Marling, good morning. And Sandra Brothers, all you wonderful people out there. Tessa, Isaac Graves, Andy. Hey Tessa, good morning to you. How are you doing this morning? I hope all is well at your end. I hope everyone is having a fantastic morning. I know Sharon has been keeping you up and about, telling you the good things. There you have it. Hey, good morning. Good morning, guys. How are you doing? I hope all is well. I see Gwyneth Anderson on this morning. Sheila Boychild. Oh, my goodness. Sheila Boychild, I want you to say this thing. Good morning, MP Lady J. I want to hear the tone in it. It was so, my goodness. How are you doing? I see Marlene Thomas is saying, I'm not seeing you. Guys, if you're seeing me, let me know. If you're not, let me know. Let me tell Marlene. Are you seeing me? Am I clear at your end? Let me know what's going on. I'm seeing myself fine here. I think it's going through fine. If you're not seeing me, technical guys on the other side, let me know what's going on. Are you seeing me? Are you hearing me clearly? What's going on at that end? Lola says, welcome. Good morning, Lola. I see Chris Kippins is saying, good morning, MP. You're clear. Good. All right. I don't know, Marlene. Something at your end, Marlene. I don't know what's going on there. But Christy says, Christy said you're clear. Once Christy saying, I'm clear, right? I seeing you now. Okay, Olga Sinclair said seeing you now. All right. So apparently something was up there for a couple seconds. I don't know what that was, but I'm good to go. Now I hope all is well with each and every one of you this wonderful, wonderful morning, guys. It is something. Good morning, Jay says Osman Hutch. Hey Osman, what's going on at your end? I hope all is well at your end. We cannot miss you there. I'm seeing what's going on. I see Ivan Ramasar in the house very, very early this morning. And Warren Figueres says, Marlon only have eyes for Sharon. I didn't say it. I didn't say that. I'm just reading the comment there, okay? Warren is saying Marlon only got eyes to Sharon. Everybody else can see me clearly this morning, but Marlon, you only got eyes to Sharon. Good morning, guys. As I said again, it has been quite a hectic morning for me, Wednesday 14th. I know Sharon has been keeping you alive and well, up and about. You know how he does it. But he was dragged on the set earlier this morning, earlier than he should have been. But we have a lot to discuss. I know Sharon has been just going through the morning papers with you. Very, very interesting story there that he was talking about. Let me tell you, because as the report was saying, I found it absolutely interesting what was said in the report. I kid you not, about this guy being abducted. Apparently, some persons were claiming that he owed them money or whatever. And they just decided to take the law into their own hands and move forward with it in that manner. Oh, very, very, very crazy. But that's where we're living right now. And we have to be careful. And I have to say that there have been quite a number of instances, events similar to such nature that has been playing out in Kitty. I don't want to put it over, too harshly. But I have to say that if you go into the reports, I think if you can just go do a quick Google search, you will see the amount of reporting that is coming out of Kitty altogether. A lot has been going on there, especially when it comes to the bars in the night. Gun pulling, all sorts of things. I don't know, kitty bars, y'all gotta pull it up. What's going on there, guys? I hope all is well and better at the bars that you are frequenting. Nightlife is not no easy life. I can tell people that. That's why I just choose to stay at home, not stay saying that that's the right way or whatever. But I just choose to stay out of it because, I don't want to be involved in all of that drama, right? I don't want when I'm out taking a drink, somebody pull the gun next to me with somebody else, and not for me. That's not my life. That's not my thing. I'm not going to be doing that. Absolutely not, guys. Let me know what's been going on at your. And I see Loretta Argyle saying good morning to you, Loretta. Good morning. Good morning. Marlon said, Warren, Mark, I am ice for her now. Okay, got you. Thank you so much, Marlon, that you were ice for me as well. Guys, I'm putting up my notes. Just bear with me a little bit. The technology doesn't work as I want it to, as it should many, many times. But we are in the house, so we're going to be bringing you the information as you need to have it, live and direct. Share the live. Share the live. Do not wait on me. Share the live. I'm absolutely positive that you have started. I know my girl Ayabo has already shared. Sitting at the front of the class, setting the example for all of you. I'm in the comment section there. I'm monitoring you. I see Rhonda Charlene Shuram is here with us this morning. Rhonda, I have to say it's a pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here with us this lovely morning. I am so blessed to have you with us this morning. I hope all is well at your end. I'm going to ask the technical guys to come in just a bit because for some reason I'm not pulling up my notes as it should be seen. I'm trying to pull it up, but I'm not seeing my notes on my screen. Nevertheless, let me go into some of the aspects of the morning paper as we're pulling that up. Let me go into some aspects of the morning paper. Oh, great. I'm having double and triple screens this morning. So I hope we are going to be getting it. Excellent. Like I was saying, guys, as it pertains to what transpired there with that man, it says a retired cop. I'm not sure if Sharon went into the notes with you, but it's that a retired cop has been placed in police custody after he and two others allegedly robbed and abducted a Mahaica businessman after claiming that the man owed them a sum of money. And this is what I wanted to get into, a retired cop, this man taking the law into his own hands even after he's off of the force. And this is not the way. This is not the way in which you do things. You have a right way and a wrong way of doing things. Not because you're a retired cop, you're going to go out there and behave as though the law is yours to do what you want. And it brings a larger conversation. What exactly goes on with these police officers that believe that they can go out there and do as they like, do as they please, and do as they like? We have some serious issues, and I know Warren is in the comment section right now, and he personally has had some run-in recently with a particular law enforcement office trying to do and bully their way and things as such. We have to be very vigilant. I know Sher said this earlier about how we treat with these matters. It's absolutely necessary that law enforcement officers remember that they are there to serve. This is not a bully thing. You're not there to bully people. You are there to protect people. You're there to provide a service to the people of this country. So very, very interesting, that bit that's coming out there. I have to say that at the very least, we expect that we're going to be having some follow up on this particular situation, guys. And as we move forward, Sher did say that the CCJ Judge Duke Pollard has passed away. Our condolences to his family, I have to say. And Sher in particular had the experience, the privilege of being schooled by Mr. Pollard. But as we move forward, guys, very quickly this morning, I know the Air Finale has declared a day of mourning for Queen Elizabeth II. A day of mourning. Guyana will be observing a day of mourning. That's the 19th, guys. On the 19th, we'll be observing a day of mourning here in Guyana. Paying our persons being given that opportunity and that time frame to pay their respect to Queen Elizabeth II. And I have to say that it is not a public holiday. It is not a holiday. You cannot stay home from work, because that's the only questions persons are asking. Guyanese, we different. Persons here, day of mourning, they want to stay home and mourn. A lot of people I see being comment and say they can't go to work and mourn. So Guyanese, we different. We do things differently, but we are who we are. We're not going to be pretending to be anything else, As we continue, when we're looking through the morning papers, Chief Elections Officer directed again to revise time frame for the local government polls. And you would remember that we did say the Chief Elections Officer he had given a time frame, a proposed date there to GCOM, saying that he is willing to have, he will be ready, rather not willing, he would be ready to have those elections on the 13th of February, when Sher just said you might as well put it to Valentine's Day and be done with it. But he was saying the 13th of February. He was asked to go back and to revise that date to a date in January. And what I can tell you right now, it has been reported here that he came with a date. He came with January 30th. It says that Chief Elections Officer Vishnu Prasad has provided an updated work plan to the Guyana Elections Commission, which indicates that the Secretariat would be ready to host local government elections no earlier than January 30th, 2023. However, once again, he has been directed to revise the plan to reflect a date that is earlier, according to Commissioner Vincent Alexander there. And during a brief interview with Starbrook News yesterday, Alexander explained that the CEO presented a work plan which indicated that some timelines have been missed, which led to the January 30th, 2023 proposal. But guys, I told you before, these people, they're going to have all sorts of shenanigans. Budget is in February of 2023. The PVP, that's their budget. That's their budget month. They always do budgets in February. So apparently the CEO didn't really understand that he's tying up these people running when he's trying to push this date to the dates that he's proposing as is right now. So he's been asked to pull forward that date again. We're going to get a little bit more in when we're into the local discussions as it pertains to what's going on at GCOM and some other issues as well. But I just wanted to mention that one briefly in the morning papers because it is absolutely very much pertaining to what is going on and directing us as we move forward. Guys, believe it or not, some of the stories that we've been asking about, Cher did start off this morning by saying crime is out of control, absolutely out of control. Are we going to continue to bring that to you? A lot's going on when it comes to social interactions, especially when it comes to the relationships between a man and a woman in this country. We have been seeing so many reporting of gender-based violence and all of those things, very much so. But we have had lots of cases, the majority of cases, the vast majority of cases of the male abusing women. But as it says right now, Charleston man stabbed in neck after row over a phone call. And the report says here that a Charleston laborer was stabbed in his neck during an argument over a phone call. So the incident occurred at Van Street on Monday night at about 2200 hours, and it saw 27-year-old Lyndon Davison suffering stab wounds to his neck and above his eyes. According to the police report, an argument erupted after Davison heard the woman speaking to a man. So this went a little bit, well, not a little bit, this went way different to a lot of the reporting that we've been hearing coming up. And this particular case, the reports are saying, as it is, that he heard the woman speaking to a man on the phone, and it just broke into a huge argument, of which she armed herself with a knife and dealt him a stab to his neck. I'm not sure how many stab wounds, but stab to his neck, and I think damages, cuts above his eyes, as it is being reported right now. We have to get to a place that we understand as adults that you just walk away from situations. This is everybody, man, woman, everyone. You don't want to be in a situation, it's absolutely crazy. You don't want to be in a situation in which you are in a relationship that is just, it is just toxic, right? And a lot of persons are in a situation. It's absolutely sad. I see Gwyneth Anderson says sad situation in England, but this one is a lot. It's there's a depth to it that persons need to understand. Only recently, and I'm going to bring back this conversation, only recently reported right here, that Spotlight Initiative and that whole bit of reporting, the report that came out was saying that we are far from where we need to be in putting methods in place to actually deal with gender-based violence. So we are a long way off from that. And this particular report says, it's not just men that are violent, women, there are women out there that are violent too. So we have to take the bull by the horn, and this conversation has to be had. Focus groups need to be had throughout the length and breadth of this country. I know that Spotlight did embark in doing a whole lot of work, and the magnitude and gravity of the work that they have been doing, it has been making some impact. But I think government need to play a way wider role in making sure that we curb this problem of gender-based violence. Hey, Anna Gordon, I'm seeing you in the comment section. So Anna is now coming through. All the folks is now coming through. I see the viewership starts to climb there. All the folks that is now coming through, welcome to the program. Make sure you settle in. Make sure you share the stream. Make sure that we are ready to have the hard conversations. Let's have the discussions as it is. We do not want to have you out there just listening. We want you to give your feedback in the comment section. That's how we always do it in the morning program. So bear with us this morning as we try to indulge in bringing forth all of the comments. I see out front part is saying it is rooted in gender inequality, the abuse of power and harmful norms. And that's a large part of it. I have to say that is a large part of it when it comes to gender inequality. But I have noted from not only my own personal experiences, but from speaking to victims of gender-based violence and all of that, I can say that a lot of it comes from the upbringing of persons, how you train up your child and the lifestyle you expose your children to from very long. We always say children are there and they're watching and they're listening every single thing that you're doing. So make sure that you're not there, in a relationship, cussing out each other every day, because that's what you're teaching your kids to go out and do. Believe it or not, that's how you were training them. And that's how they're going to go out and they're going to operate, because as young kids, you're teaching them that that's an acceptable way. I know of persons, that literally share that they've been in relationships, they've been a relationship and they've had children and they're the constant fighting and so forth. You don't have children in those situations. Sometimes it's better to be alone and happy and have that in a peaceful environment for children to just be in a relationship to say that you're in a relationship. Makes no sense, guys. Absolutely no sense. As we move forward, because we must move forward this morning, I see all boys town robbery suspect escapes after exchange of gunfire with cops. Right here in Guyana, only recently we've been reporting what's been going on in TNT, but we're at home, guys. We're at home. All boys town robbery suspect escape after exchange of gunfire with cops. And these are very, very serious cases that we're looking at right now. So the police are now on the hunt for an injured man who shot at them on Monday and managed to escape after a hostile group in All Boys Town started to attack law enforcer. And I have to say that I did hear of this story and it was very, very scary on the ground, to the point that a lot of journalists did not even want to go and be there at the time. A lot of journalists were calling, but persons did not even show up at the time because the situation was very hostile. You know, a lot of residents out on the street, and it was very, very bad. So we're noting now that and I don't even want to say what the comments are that I've been hearing, otherwise what is being reported. But what I can tell you is that situation need a lot more attention. And what went on there should never, ever, ever happen in our country. It's absolutely chaotic. The bits and pieces that we're looking at. So Rubes and Ben, you got the work cut out for you. You need to start taking it to task and getting the work done. Crime situation is out of control. We cannot have a society in which anything goes. It's completely chaotic, and I have to say that it's starting from the very top, so it needs to be fixed. I think the saying is that, you know, the tail, don't let the tail direct the head. So we have a situation like that in the country right now because the head is completely toxic. You know, it's completely chaotic. So we have to move forward and make sure that crime is solved. This affects each and every one of us. Don't say the crime in All Boys Town don't affect you wherever else you are. It affects us all. This is a small country. We're less than 1 million people. We're awaiting a census that is probably going to show us different data. But we are a small population, and it is our absolute duty to make sure that we do our best to solve issues that are in every part of the country, because it affects the entire country. Believe it or not, that's the way it is. I see Desiree Simon Liverpool is coming through this morning. Also, hey Desiree, good morning to you. I hope all is well at your end. You know, Big Ben, your name. Yeah, I'm calling his name. I call his name quite often because of what is going on with the crime situation in this country, guys. Oh, it's absolutely crazy. But as we move forward, guys, we have been looking again and again when it comes to all the accidents on the roadways. And so I want to give you guys a bit of an update when it comes to the West Coast, the West Demerara. Just bear with me 1 second as I re-welcome, as I re-welcome the man of the hour, the man of the day, the man of the hour, as we would say.
Guys, thanks for staying with us. Share the live. Coming back and
you're coming back.
Make Drake a little miserable here now.
Yeah, he did. As I said, he did. It's not.
Good to have you folks. Wherever you're joining us from, making sure that we're...
I like the misery. I like it. Misery loves company. We always say, come on.
Problems. Yeah.
But Sherrod, one of the things I'm looking at, and I know Sherrod is going to be very interested in this bit. I see Anna Phyllis and your lipstick shocking. It was too close. It was up close and personal, But
how is it now? Is it manageable?
Yeah, it's manageable. It's manageable.
The lipstick that is,
It's shocking.
You hear dispensing all this news and information, infotainment, credible and valid.
Yeah.
You think it's that people going with? That's a lipstick.
No, it's a lipstick. It's a lipstick.
Yeah.
Don't worry. No, but Shar, this is what I know you're going to be interested in this bit, because a man charged over a West Demerara hit and run fatality. And we're seeing here, the deceased there was Azad Khan, and the accused of Vicky Balgabin is a driver who allegedly struck down 42-year Azad Khan along the Blankenburg Park Road was last Wednesday charged with causing death by dangerous driving. I know this in particular is something that you've been following, and not only so, but the law enforcement officers that have not being charged.
Correct. They're still wondering what to
Right?
do.
So
If and buts and how they're going around this and all that. It's
so
terrible.
we
It's
have to
terrible.
have
This is the other pandemic we talked about.
correct.
It's this violence against women and girls, and then the dangerous nature of our roadways. Folks, we gotta tackle that. We gotta tackle that. Yep.
But on a little brighter note, I just want to mention very lightly that 58 Region 9 teachers have graduated from a digital education program. We're always so proud of those things.
Correct.
And I have to say, when we're looking particularly at Region 9, I always say that I want to make sure that the Region 9 folks are coming through, because I know the difficulty they have when it comes to connectivity and dealing with those things all together. So I'm hoping that this goes in a good direction, and that those persons that are trained will be better able to assist the community in the region altogether at moving forward in this digital age that we're living in.
Correct.
But guess what? Earphone ran out, Sharon. When it comes to CARE's contract, Earphone ran out. Earphone said that what more you want to do? The man bid is an open bid. He won the bid. Listen, when these things go to tender, there must be a recommendation coming from the tender board. The tender board have the prerogative to say that although this person may be the lowest bidder, that there are certain things attached to this that causes them not to make this recommendation.
To make the final cut.
For
here the reason. Oh, he didn't fix the last project properly that he was on. How is that for us, perhaps?
No, but just the one last thing I have to say on that is that I find it interesting that that in his capacity as president, Irfan is speaking on this particular matter.
Yeah, I wonder why. Seems to have a vested interest, folks. As we head to the morning brew, the Queen's coffin has arrived in Buckingham Palace. It's a very emotional scene out there for Britons, and I would rather suppose for folks around the world. And the Queen's, as you heard you mention it, the funeral is going to be on the 18th. And a national day of mourning has been declared here as well. Quite emotional scenes out there down there in London, or over there in London, folks, as the Queen's coffin arrived back at Buckingham Palace. Yep. And while that's happening, folks, we are tracking some other stories too, internationally rather. The Russian consul faces dissolution after a call for Putin removal. Now, this folks is a local council, and looking at things that are happening in Ukraine and things that are happening right on the ground in Russia there, economically and otherwise. They're saying that this war with Ukraine was uncalled for, and it could have gone a different way. But who tell the council to say that?
Oh goodness!
A court has now ordered the dissolution of that council. Right? So much as free speech. Democratic norms and values and so on.
Free speech is something that a lot of persons just have the concept of, but it doesn't go forward.
Yeah, we saw some of it over the weekend, because they might not go to court here to dissolve the council, but they work around the council. They sideline the council, they marginalize the council. That's some of what we see here, and that, folks, is what we're picking up happening in Russia. The council is about to be dissolved. The council is about to be dissolved, right?
They don't play like that.
They don't play like that, folks.
That's different.
Some other issues we are tracking in the region, folks. In the region, Haiti. Haiti got a lot. Well, the cost of living again there as a cost people to take to the streets, price hike for fuel and rampant crime. We just talking about crime locally here. The Haitians different. So there've been violent protests in the streets in Haiti over what's happening on the ground there. But we are very accommodating people.
When it comes to Haiti, the situation in Haiti, this is of particular interest to me, because I always speak about the fact that Haiti is the largest, the most densely populated, rather, CARICOM country, and the way in which Haiti has been left in a struggle all by themselves. Sometimes, if I was in Haiti as a policymaker, I would have been questioning my involvement in certain groups.
Correct. Whether it's a benefit or not. Correct. And with that, we're tracking stuff in Haiti. I see Mara Lama said this sounds familiar. Very much so. We've had the same thing in Trinidad. They got a crime problem much like us. 3 men died in a hail of bullets, albeit in separate incidents. But my Lord,
a hail of bullets.
Wow. This sounds like Ricardo Fagundes on Main Street. A hail of bullets was over 40 bullets hit the body of Ricardo Fagundes. The RSS come and gone. We still waiting, still in a holding pattern. Still waiting and still in a holding pattern. And again, folks, out of Trinidad, 3 men, in a hail of bullets. Yep. They got their own basket of issues there, guys. Own basket of issues. Do that?
Yeah, you know, for some reason when I hear the hail of bullets, like I just keep remembering botheration.
Botheration aside, mayhem
No,
aside was a
I
good
keep
concept.
remembering botheration with persons just shooting
Yeah.
wildly up in the
Yeah.
air and stuff like that.
Mayhem aside, botheration was a good concept.
Thank God no one
according to
was
News.
hurt. Well, seriously hurt there.
Yep.
These persons were hurt.
Indeed. In other news, we're following folks.
That's
Locally,
a nice photo,
we're on the ground locally. We're on the ground. You know, as we talk about protests, let me come back before we touch on this one. I'm talking about protests. You know, there was supposed to be a protest outside GCOM at 12 today. And we learned that protest is now being moved to 3 o'clock. That protest over electoral fraud and the clean voters list, and all of those issues, the biometric data system that we really, really need and should be going after. All of those issues are on the table in that protest. There's moved from 12 o'clock, folks. I want to advise you. It has moved from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Those of you who are going to be going on the ground there. And as I said, we come a little closer now. The GCOM chair.
You always find a lovely picture.
Right? The GCOM chair. It was too early in the morning for the other one. The GCOM chair has yet again voted with the PPP for an extension, against the extension of claims and objection.
Correct.
Right?
And I did mention earlier that I did mention about GCOM earlier, and I did say we're going to be touching on it as we move forward.
Touch it.
This morning. This is where we are, you know. It is one thing to say that you want a credible process, and it's one thing to say that elections are credible. But when you do everything in your power to make sure that the system is set up to fail before you even go into the election, then there's no way that you can claim credibility. And I've been saying this, and
we can watch your sideways.
I can speak about this matter because my first dealings when it comes to GCOM and electoral systems and all of that happened with my involvement at the recount. And I said it 100 times over, and I'm going to say it again this morning, that I have, it is my firm belief, that the system is completely outdated. It needs to be revamped, and we need to move forward for a credible system. If you had been sitting there, you would have understood the need. And I'm not speaking to Sharon, I'm speaking to everybody else, because Sharon was there every single day reporting live and direct. But you have to have been there to understand what came out of those boxes, the level of data that was gathered. You cannot ignore these facts and move forward. So the very simple things.
So it's what came out of the boxes and what didn't come out too.
Correct. The very simple
There's a lot of statutory documents that should have been in them didn't come out.
Simple things are the claims and objections. You're running, you're hiding, you're ducking, you're finding 1,000 different reasons why you can't have a cleansed list. Claims and objections, that's the petty things as you move forward. The claims and objections. You need to have time to do these things.
Correct.
These things are powered into the streets. You don't have no electronic system in which you are vetting these things by. You have to physically go to persons' homes to make sure that you check on them to see if they're there, if they're existing altogether. These things take time. It's not no rush or no fly by night kind of deal.
And on that case, it is Vincent Alexander, GCOM Commissioner, who's reporting in a letter to the editor again that the GCOM had published that the claims and objection period would go right up until the 18th, but they have now decided to bring that down to the 12th and don't want to extend it. They don't want to extend it, right? So we are watching that, folks. We are watching that, and there are other things happening nationally we think you guys ought to know about as well, and this is the swearing in of this commission to probe the 2020 election. Now, Ephraim got the own probe happening. Nandla got the own probe. The magistrates court got several cases. They got a probe. And then the CCJ about to probe those very elections through some elections, petitions as well. So there's a lot of probing happening. Hope you could walk when all this probing finish.
You know, when you said GCOM have one probe, Ephraim got one probe, and Nandlal got one probe. It just reminded me that it would appear to me you know, that Nandlal Ephraim don't ever be on the same page, you know. It would appear to me.
You know, Jack, you told Ephraim he want this probe, but Ephraim insisting.
If I said I'm going to show you I'm the president.
Yes. I hope you're able with it. But I told folks last evening, an affiliate program in the ring, now we can see this report. Watch it. This is like the Bascom report, and like the FAO report. We can see this one and other reports.
Well, if it ends up like the RSS report,
the RSS report,
we're gonna get some a line here, a line there.
Yes, they're gonna come and try to interpret for us what this report should be about. That being said, an interesting situation happened overnight. Christopher Ram said that he believed, and he knows rather, that there was an amendment to the 2016 Petroleum Sharing Agreement, the PSA, right? And he went to the deeds registry because he said he had to go through that process to locate the document. Lo and behold, well, he was told, come back 3 days later after he paid the processing fee and so forth. Then when he returns, the registry said they can't find the document. Right? It's a very, very short letter in the letter to the edited newspaper. If persons can pull it out for us and let folks hear from Christopher Ram himself what transpired. Man, as a matter of fact, sorry, Joita, I think we apologies. I think we do have the content of that letter in our what he said segment. And this is what Christopher Ram said. Christopher Ram says here, I had announced that President Granger and Exxon had indeed signed the deed of amendment in late 2019, varying the 2016 petroleum agreement to make the royalty paid to the government a non-recoverable expense. Knowing that the deal required registration and is a public document, our staff paid to the deeds registry the required fee and was asked to return 3 days later. Well, see, Ram thinks he's in a democratic society. Finally, he says in this letter to the editor, when the staff visited the registry yesterday, she was told that the document could not be found.
Wow.
This sounds strange, very strange. The question must be asked, who has an interest in ducking the agreement? Oh Lord, the ducking folks, share the live, smash the emoji button, I suppose, get valid, credible information. They're ducking. After you regular.
When I tell you, right?
Different in this
when
country.
I tell you, people, when
we
I
told
you on several occasions that there's a reason why our systems are the way in which they are, is because people choose to have it like that. Because when they choose to have the system set up the way in which it is set up, they get away with more, that they push things and they let things fall through the cracks. They exploit every loophole available. And when it comes to a paper-based system, it's one thing to say that you don't have the physical document, but where are the copies? Where are the digital copies of these documents? You can't tell me in 2022 you don't have digital copies of these documents.
And they can't find digital one either. Physical and digital, they can't find the document, folks. And as we rush up the program time, we want you to know, and they lose again in the court.
Well, I saw this comment like how long?
You know that they got Winston in court over some land deals that he made under the previous government. Well, that were made, not he made. Let me put it correctly. That were made under the previous administration. Right? While he was finance minister, they took him to court for them. Well, Brassington Reynolds yesterday, on behalf of the High Court, he wasn't having it too much. He threw out the case. And Richard's going to tell us on what basis he threw the case out.
Well, it says in his ruling, Justice Reynolds noted that while ordinarily the Attorney General could have instituted a claim for malfeasance in public office, he did not, in the instant matter, satisfy the elements of sort. So he's not. This is the AG, this is the AG.
Loses again, yet again. Oh, shit, damn. It's swearing so early morning. But there's another thing Randall said as to the jury that I know has been drawn to attention. About the case. Tell us what Randall said.
It says further, the judge found it.
Further. Stick right there. This is touching out. Further.
Causes of action relied upon by the Attorney General were on the pleadings and the affidavit in support misconceived. That's
Misconceived.
That's your word, Sharon.
Misconceived. The AG was misconceived. What else he said there? Did he say there? The AG was misconceived. What else he said?
He said, in the circumstances after referencing a plethora of cases, the judge noted that the claim constituted an abuse of the court's process and resultantly struck it out.
Abuse of the process. Abuse of the process.
Oh goodness. Our words for today.
Abuse.
You know?
He abused it. And abusing the process of the court.
Abuse.
Oh, Father.
That's your boy.
Licks like peas. You know. And you get me bus back every day. Licks like peas, folks. Licks like peas. But, you know, we don't want to. We want to dwell right there, but we got a big issue to deal with. And, you know, we see this consistent effort by these guys to try to tarnish the reputation of Detective Bascom, who made those very, what do you call them? These very damning allegations against them. That's the big issue this morning, because we're seeing also in the press, you know, they keep on keeping on. We're seeing also, you know, they're telling us that Bascom is now facing cyber crimes, facing charges for cyber crimes over those statements, those very damning allegations. You know, this is like the what's happening with the electoral process. You know, everybody running different things and different from the police doing something against Bascom. They got something with the DPP. You know, somebody can sue privately. Well, it's being sued privately, as a matter of fact. It's being sued, right? All of that. But again, it was Sabbath to their credit, who had said none of that goes to the allegations that Bascom made.
Well, that's my thing, you know. I'm hoping that you can guide me in this direction, because I always say I'm not a legal mind, and I don't pretend to be. If you are to sue someone for cybercrime, how does that go to the court? Isn't there a process that have to say that what the person was saying online was not true, it was not factual? How do you determine that? Do you not have to try this case to determine that the evidence provided are not sufficient to say this is factual or not? Because I see these,
you know, these guys are judge, jury, and
I don't know.
all in one.
I don't know, because
it's all in one business we happening.
If to sue someone, in my you know, common layman point of view, if you're going to sue someone for something, it's because it's not true. And if the person is saying it's true, then an entire trial have to be had to ascertain whether or not the evidence being provided by the individual is actually substantial. It's actually enough to substantiate their claims that they made against you.
I see out front part says the age is a loose cannon. Right? It's a loose cannon. And that's what we're seeing. It's an attempt to tarnish Bascom's credibility, his reputation, all of that's coming out here. But I know that Bascom has a tremendous battery of lawyers in the law firm Yules, Fields and Sobey, one of the best, the best law firm locally. And I think they got this. They got this, and sources say that again, Bascom is to be charged very soon with charges for these cyber crimes based on those allegations, strong damning allegations against the cover up and what do you call it, subverting the course of justice. All of that investigation concerning the gunning down of Ricardo, for goodness.
Well, who's taking this case against Bascom? I'm trying to be.
The state is going to bring the charges.
Bringing in the case against him, and would he have, you know, the defend, you know, the prosecution means set of the police prosecution. He's at work. Bascom is at work. He's a police at work.
But listen, Marilyn Lorimer has the wisdom this morning. Marilyn says the PVP and their supporters, they have acquired the art of deflecting from the real issues.
Yes, that's it.
That's it.
That's it right there.
That's it right there, Marilyn. You're firing this morning on all 6 cylinders, probably 7 or 8. You know, the PVP and their supporters, they have acquired the art of deflecting from the real issues. Marilyn, y'all like Marilyn's status for me, please. Marilyn Lorimer. I can't like it from a position right now, but like it. And we're continuing to track these issues, folks, and we're going to be telling you more about them in our program this midday, below the belt, and in the ring this evening. But good to have so many of you folks. Please don't get your reach out there. Come out here looking thin or so on, but don't get your reach out here looking thin with these shares and with these emojis. Don't do it. No, the lipstick alone has earned it this morning.
Come on.
The lipstick alone. Put on this lipstick for that. People gotta see.
They gotta see it.
Folks.
Come on, guys.
Valid, credible lipstick. Valid, credible lipstick.
You gotta be fair.
Don Morgan, good to see you. And Carpenter Boy Trutella. These big names, you see that? Out front parts, Carpenter Boy Trutella, you know, Sheila Boy Child, these names, you know. Maureen Williams and Cecile Ogle, all you folks, Don Morgan, thanks for joining us this morning.
Maureen have the Maureen Williams have a big question there. If I can
Yeah.
just add
Go
that
right ahead.
comment in. It
Put it
says,
in there.
I have a question, says, and Maureen is asking there. So when is someone going to be charged for paper shorts murder?
Yeah.
And that's the biggest.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
elephant
Yeah.
in the room, to say the least.
Yeah.
You're going around and talking about cyber crimes and this and that. And at the end of the day, no one is facing charges for that brutal murder. A family is still there asking for justice. That's the big issue. That's the real issue that persons are going around.
Yeah. You ain't getting nowhere like that. That being said, folks, have a great morning. Have a fantastic breakfast if you're not through as yet, or you're probably now starting. Have a great day at work, productive day, whatever you do. Stay safe.
Have a good day, guys. Bye.